Well, hello friends, neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here, and welcome down to the Whiskey Nook. It's Sunday, and I did find some time, so we're going to talk a little bit, a couple of samples here. These, again, were from Paul, who clearly gave me a very large gift basket of cool whiskeys. And the two whiskeys that I want to talk to you today about are both peated and actually both quite popular on YouTube right now, or maybe, 6 months, a year ago. So the first one is Ledaig 10. And then I'm going to go over to Ardbeg Wee Beastie, their 5-year-old that really took the world by storm. So I'll probably put the virtual bottles over here so you can actually see them. When you come back, these are my first and only thoughts right now on the Ledaig 10 and Ardbeg Wee Beastie.
3, 4.
Thanks for staying with me. As I kind of hinted in the opener, there's certain whiskeys that really make the rounds in YouTube channels for sure. Aaron is blowing up right now, and I enjoy Aaron. I'm part of that trend, I suppose. And I would say Ledaig 10 has also been really well received on most channels. And the Wee Beastie really tore up last year for sure when it was released. So I'm interested. Ledaig 10. Isle of Mull, it is a peated dram. I believe, well, it's 10 years, so that's stated. I know it's natural color and unchill filtered. And I believe it spent its entire 10 years in ex-bourbon. So there's no ex-sherry or other kind of casking going on. I think it's just ex-bourbon. So it's 10 years ex-bourbon, and it is peated. And what I read when I look online is it's somewhere around 35 parts per million, something like that. But I'll cut below, and I believe it's 46.3% ABV. All right, so let's see what we get on this sample. Gonna nose it and taste it. If you have any kind of peated Scotch, pour it. Share a dram together. Be great. Even better if you have Ledaig or Ledaig 10. This is a nice nose. It's actually fairly sweet. So I kind of get really a light, almost a peach, light stone fruit, sweet vanilla. And then comes a nice wraparound smoke. Not a heavy peat on the nose for me. We're not really digging into campfire like that heavy smoke. We're not really into the briny seaweed just yet anyways. The nose, quite nice. Very welcoming. I'm looking forward to the palate. I hope you have something. Sláinte. That is really nice in the mouth. That coated really nicely. It really filled my palate. Gave me some of those sweet, light fruit, and then went right into a nice peat. This is, no, there's a little bit of creosote in there, just on the edges. Now maybe I'm getting early finish, so I should really try to think palate. Palate for me was pretty clean. Had a nice smolder to it. Good malt. I better take another little sip. I could spend some time with that dram. Now a little spicing came up on the edges of my tongue, a little pepper. Not super strong. Oh, well, but it's building. So I was going to say white pepper, but it's on that edge of white or black pepper. So there's a little bit of peppering. Good malt. The sweetness is still a light, to me, a stone fruit sweetness. But now early finish, into the finish, I get a little more ash, a little more smoke. A little bit of iodine even. I was going to say I'm not getting any of that medicinal, but there's a little bit of that in there too. A little bit medicinal, but it takes a little while to creep up. So for me, very enjoyable. It's full peat though. I know I've probably been really gentle and light in my descriptions, but I would say this is full peat. This is not, if you're a Highland Park fan, this is more predominant, more pronounced peat than I get in that kind of light peat release. Yeah, what did I have recently? I had some John Paul edited. It's stronger peat than that. It's, I definitely would say it's in the category of an Isla peat. Not a monster, but it's prominent, it's strong, and the longer I talk, clearly it has a really long finish. The more into that, slight ash, a little bit of creosote, a little bit of iodine, which could be taken a little more as salt or brine. But up front, much sweeter and gentler than I was expecting. Yeah, the nose there just gave me some fresh vanilla. Same pathway. Starts fresh, malty, a little sweet, and then it goes into some of that peat and ash. Nice. I like it. I definitely one day need to walk myself through a bottle of Ledaig 10. All right, gonna clear my palate, and then we'll try the Wee Beastie. This clearly blew up every channel, and I must admit, I really like Ardbeg. I often have Kverkin and Ugadale, like something big and monstrous on the shelf, and really like their 10. Consistently great quality. This Wee Beastie is unchill filtered, natural color. They look very similar, kind of a very light straw. 5 years old, clearly, and it's 47.4%. I believe it is a mix, not a finish, but a mix, and I don't know the ratio, of ex-bourbon and ex-European Oloroso sherry cask. So there is some sherry casking in here and some ex-bourbon casking, but not a finishing. Just that for 5 years, whiskey has spent its whole time in those casks, and then they have married them. For how percentage, I don't know. All right, Wee Beastie on the nose. In contrast to what I just had, it adds a richness, slight chocolate, a little more fruit. Oh, I just had something else there. Oh, I'm not going to get it. It was something else, something like a coffee or something. Yeah, very nice nose on both. This clearly has something else going on in the nose. And it's not quite chocolate, it's certainly not milk. It's more like a bitter or unique chocolate that someone's bought you, some kind of organic chocolate bar. Yeah, because it's not quite that. It's something else. Light espresso, something in there. All right, I want to taste it. Slanja. This is bolder. Definite cracked pepper. Almost a little bit of roast nut. Fruit's harder for me to distinguish. Heavier peat. Fuller peat. Smokier. Smokier like ashier. Not smokier like light in the room. This is full. Gonna try another little sip. Oh, drier on the finish. Like it, when you get that kind of pucker and it kind of dried up my mouth. Interesting. Shaving cream? That's not it. There's something on the nose I can't quite get. All right, palate again. That is just a bolder dram. I know it's 1% different, but that's not what's going on here. This is a bold, fresh, peat forward, but in fact, with time, the peat might overwhelm me on this one. And I actually like a lot of peat, But it's been a while since I've really been on a peat journey. I've really been more ex-sherry lately, so I have to acknowledge my own palate, shifts a little bit toward what I get used to. That drying, ashy peat, little bit of brine, something I can't quite identify on the nose and palate that is somewhere between chocolate espresso and shaving cream, which sounds terrible, but there's something in there that I can't quite get. Much bolder than the Chegg 10. And I like it. And now I'm wondering about my choice. My choice is, had a bottle in hand, and it's $20 more than Ardbeg 10, and I love Ardbeg 10 in my neck of the woods, so I just passed. I said, you know what? Maybe when it comes around again, because I hear it's a regular expression, and maybe that's what I'm going to do. Pick it up when it's priced a little more reasonable. Because, $20 more than 10, and I love their 10, really love it. Is this better? I'd have to have long time with it, with a bottle of 10 going back and forth to say, do I enjoy this? Absolutely. I would buy that if I saw it again, but at a decent price, right? If you're like, you need a little, not softer, but a little more integrated peat and lets the malt express a little more than the kind of the ash, campfire, something else, this Ledaig 10 is quite nice. In fact, that is interesting. If you push me to say, what do I enjoy this moment right now, having tried these for the first time ever with you guys, I'd be really hard torn. This Ledaig 10 is a really good sipper for me. It's something that I would like to consider over length of time. But I would be wrong or remiss to say I'm not intrigued with this Wee Beastie. Lots of flavor here. And I definitely enjoy scotches that kind of rock me back a bit and go, oh, got to breathe that one out. And that definitely is the Wee Beastie. Guys, thanks for joining me here for a couple of quick samples on Sunday. I hope you're well. Hope the weekend was, recharging, rejuvenating. And if you're heading into a work week like I am, that you carry that strength and have a great week.